Model 32 Cushman scooter engine is a 4-horsepower cast-iron Cushman engine with an oil pump. These Cushman engine-powered scooters were made for the United States government in 1942. During World War II, they made a few models of Cushman scooters, that the Model 32, a Model 39 three-wheeler, and a Model 53 Airborne that was parachuted out of aircrafts. 495 of the Model 32 military scooters with the sidecars were ordered by the U.S. Armed Forces in World War II. Cushman Motor Works manufactured the 30 series scooters from late 1943 through the end of World War II. In 1945, the Model 32 had a centrifugal clutch, while the Model 34 had a 2-speed transmission and clutch.
These scooters were commonly used during World War II for messengers, for the internal transportation in large naval bases and industrial plants. The simple Model 32 was designed to travel through a foot of water, climbed a 25% grade hill, and had a range of about 100 miles. The Cushman Motor Works was in the business of making engines for industrial and farm use. Around 1936, they decided that they were issued with 7-inch, 8-inch, or 9-inch tires, and came with minimal lighting and brackets to save on materials. In the late stages of the war in Europe, Allied paratroopers used scooters like this one to maintain contact between units, increase their mobility, and haul small loads.
Starting on June 6, 1944, and lasting until June 30, 1944, World War II American soldiers went to the coast of France, which would end up being known as the Battle of Normandy, codenamed Operation Neptune. The Americans planned to concentrate Allied power in England and then launch a drive across the English Channel into mainland Europe. The Allies wanted to gain a foothold in Western Europe and open up a third front in the European theater, putting further strain on the Axis forces. The Allies began battle by dropping bombs on the beach before ever sending in any troops. Less than 15% of Allied forces coming aboard the ships going to the coast of France had ever seen combat. The Battle of Normandy is still the largest seaborne battle ever. By July 1st, about 1 million men, over 500,000 tons of supplies, and 177,000 vehicles had been landed. By this time, General Bradley's U.S. First Army made 4 corps with 11 infantry and 2 armored divisions. General Dwight D. Eisenhower faced hazards like never before in this battle. He had moved his forces 100 miles across the English Channel and stormed the heavily fortified coast. By the end of June, the most forward positions were about 20 miles inland. The Allied strategic plan was to take over Breton ports and then to secure a lodging area as far east as the Seine River to provide ample room for air and supply bases. It was then intended to advance into Germany on a broad front. The principal thrust east was to be north of the Ardennes Forest in Belgium with General Montgomery's British 21st Army Group. A subsidiary thrust by General Bradley's newly formed U.S. 12th Army Group, comprising the U.S. 1st and 3rd Armies, was to be made south of the Ardennes. This northern route was chosen because it led directly into the Ruhr area, where Germany's industrial power was concentrated. The Allied strategic plan underwent considerable modification in August to seize upon the advantages of the breakout and exploit the principle of maneuver. When Germans counterattacked with the intention of restoring a stable front and cutting off U.S. forces moving toward Britain, they unwittingly offered the Allies an opportunity to encircle them. The Allies eventually succeeded by overwhelming the enemy with sheer number of troops. The Cushman scooter Model 32 could have been used to travel between battlefronts and exchange for information on how the battle is going on all different fronts. Even though the Allies won the battle, they may have been able to achieve an even swifter victory if they had used the Cushman scooter, capable of traveling 100 miles on one tank and traversing through rough terrains.